We are here to feast your eyes and ears with a drama. Are you ready? Here you go. This is Sherlock Holmes, the detective, Watson, his friend, and the doctor, Mrs. Hudson, the landlady, Inspector Morton, culprits with the murderer. Scene 1. Mrs. Hudson and Dr. Watson. The detective Sherlock Holmes was seriously ill. He wanted to meet his assistant Watson, so his lady conveys the news to Watson.
Mr. Holmes is dying. Mr. Watson, for 3 days he has been sinking under eye cloud. If he will last another day, why don't you get a doctor? He would not let me get a doctor. I told him I could not stand it anymore and would get a doctor. What did he reply? He replied that it would be Watson.
Scene 2. Landlady and Dr. Watson.
What happened to him? He was indeed a sad sight. His eyes had the brightness of fever, and his cheeks were flushed, and his hand twisted all the time.
Scene 3. Watson and Sherlock Holmes.
My dear fellow, stand right back. But why? I want to help you. Certainly, Watson, but it is for your own sake, for my sake. Yes, I know what is the matter with me. It is disease from Sumatra. It is deadly and contagious. That's it, Watson. Good heaven, Holmes. Do you think this can stop me? If you stand there, I will talk. If you don't, you must leave the room. You are not yourself, whether you like it or not. I will explain the symptoms and treat you. If I am to have a doctor, let me at least have someone with whom I have confidence. Then you have none in me? In your friendship, certainly. But facts are facts, Watson. You are a general practitioner, not a specialist of this disease. If so, let me bring Sir Jack May or Penrose Fisher or any other best man in London. What do you know about Tarpani fever? I have never heard of them. There are many problems of the disease in this East. I have learned that much during my researches. During this course, I got illness. I will bring Dr. Amsterdam.
Shouted in an uncontrolled way, Sherlock locked the door and locked it. And in a moment, he lay back in his bed.
In a moment.
You won't have the key by force from me, Watson. Be here till 6 o'clock. It is 4 now. This is madness, Holmes. Only 2 hours, Watson. Then you get a doctor of my choice. You can read some books over there.
Unable to settle down to reading, finally Watson came to the mantelpiece, where among other things, he saw a small black and white ivory box with sliding lid. As he held it in his hands to examine it, he heard a dreadful cry.
Put it down at once, Watson. I hate to have my things touched. Sit down, man. Let me have my rest. Now, Watson, have you any change? Yes. How many of crowns? Put them in your watch pocket and all the rest in the trouser pocket. Now, place the ivory box on the table within my reach. Then, now you can go and fetch Mr. Curverton Smith of 13 Lower Burke Street. He's a doctor? I have never heard of the name. Well, he is the man in London who no knowledge of this disease. He lives in Sumatra, now visiting London, but he is not a medical man. Then what is he doing? He is a planter, lives in Sumatra, now visiting London. What do you want me to do? I did not want you to go before 6. You did not found him in his study. You must tell him that I am dying. Plead with him. Remember this, Watson. I will bring him in a cab. No, you will persuade him to come and return before him. Make any excuse. Remember this, Watson.
Scene 4. Culverton Smith and Watson.
Have you come from Holmes? How is he? He is very ill. That's why I have come. Mr. Holmes has a high opinion of you and thought you are a only man in London. Who can help him? Why? Because of your knowledge of the Eastern disease. I will come.
Scene 5. Watson and Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Smith is coming. Well then, Watson, you have done everything that a good friend could do. Now you disappear to the next room. Don't speak or come here. Okay.
Scene 6. Culverton Smith and Sherlock Holmes. Inspector Morton and Dr. Watson are hidden.
Holmes, can you hear me? Is that you, Mr. Smith? You know what is wrong with me? You are the one in London who can cure me. Do you know the symptoms? Only too well, Mr. Smith.
They are the same, Holmes. Poor Victor was a dead man on your both today. A strong and healthy young man. What a coincidence.
I know that you did it.
Well, you can't prove it.
Give me water, please.
Here.
Cure me, please. Well, about Victor Savage death. You did it. I will forget everything. Please cure me.
You can forget or remember just as you like. It doesn't matter of me how my nephew died. Watson said you get it from the Chinese sailor. Could there be any other reason? Did anything come by post, a box by chance on Wednesday?
Yes, I opened it and there was a sharp spring inside the box. A joke perhaps, it drew blood.
No, it was a joke. You fool. You have got it. Who asked you to cross my path? You know too much about Victor's death. You enlist near Holmes. I will carry this box in my pocket, the last piece of evidence.
Turn up the gas, Mrs. Smith.
Yes, I will, so that I can see better you.
Sherlock Holmes was standing before him with a gun.
What's all this? Successful acting for 3 days. I did not test anything, neither food nor drink.
Scene 7. Inspector Morden and Culverton Smith. I arrest you on charge of murder. There was a sudden rush and scuffle followed by the clash of iron and sudden cry of pain. There was a click of handcuffs. Scene 8. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Sorry, Watson, I was rude to you. It was just to get Mr. Smith here. But your appearance, 3 days fasting under makeup did that trick. The coins, so that was only to prove that I was delirious. Oh, ha ha. Mr. Smith killed his nephew. He wanted to kill me that same way to avoid imprisonment. My goodness. I need to eat now, Watson. I think that something new taste at Simpsons would not be great. And thank you, Watson. My pleasure.